Het pakje stond voor 2 personen, in mijn eentje ging het ook best goed. Het ging zelfs uitstekend, ik weet zelf best hoe het moet. Want 's nachts als ik dan, en dat jij dan, en dat dan 80 keer per week. En dat ik dan heel boos word omdat je niet echt naar me keek.
Oh, hey everybody. It's Bicycle Mark, or Mark Fonseca Rendeiro, depending on your naming conventions. And it's a walk around the apartment in Amsterdam monologue. I'll include this as a reality check for Reality's podcast. Mark, why do you have a second podcast? I don't know. I just wanted a place where I could do something different. Talk to myself or talk to others and not think too hard, maybe, or I don't know. I don't know. It's a question I continue to ask, but maybe I shouldn't worry about it. How's everybody doing? I'll await you to think your answer. You don't have to say it. You can just think it. Good. All right. Well, so today is my birthday. It's December 10th, 2016. And just for posterity, which I believe means for record keeping, it's my 37th birthday. The way I keep track of this is it's December, so the year is just about over. And I basically, except for this next few weeks, I keep an eye on the year. And if the year is ending in a 6, then I must be on a 6 in my own life. So I generally know that I'm in my 30s. So this was 36. But now 36 is over, and for the coming year, I'll be 37, and that starts today. And I thought, well, there are always, and they don't have to be, but there are always different reasons why I could do a solo walk around the apartment podcast. But my birthday is a fine one, because think of it this way. I'm opening a box, by the way. Think of it this way. One day, first of all, there's so many files all over the internet. Some of them are audio files, and even from those, many of them are MP3s, right? So one day, somebody could find this MP3, maybe in an archive of my podcast, who knows, right? In 2025, that's not that far away. All right, let's go 2030. My God, how old will I be? 2030? 2020, I'll be 40. 2030, I'll be 50. Oh, I can't even think about it. But, you'll come across this podcast, or if you know me, maybe you'll come across this podcast, and you'll be able to, I'll be able to know what was going on. Somewhat, of course. I don't think I feel like telling the internet everything, but I like telling the internet some things. So that's part of what's always attracted me to podcasting. It's that I could look back one day and understand something about myself and maybe the world around me and us. If you hear screaming, it's my single-paned windows that allow us to hear everything going on outside here in De Pijp, the neighborhood of Amsterdam, where I've now been living for well over a year. Of course, Amsterdam and me, we've been together for more than 15 years at this point. But me and De Pijp here, this beautiful neighborhood, I've only lived here for a year and a half. But hey, I've been coming here for well over a decade for my groceries, for my friends, for so many things. So it feels like I've been here forever. And actually, what did I do on my birthday so far? The day is not over, but the sun has gone away. I went to my most favorite catering / restaurant cafe with only room for basically 8 people. And I sat there with a friend, my neighbor, and also people who are regular customers who I know. And other neighbors walked in while I was just sitting there and enjoyed lunch and cake, chocolate cake with no flour. Not because I don't like flour, but I just thought it would be cool to try it. And it was fantastic. So, and then I went to the gym. This is all very interesting to you. I went to the Sports City. Sports City is a chain of gyms. I kind of love the gym world. Not that everything about it is so good, but I sort of carved my own little world there. I found my rhythm, as people say, and my rhythm is very much about this, a certain kind of, it's not CrossFit, but it's related, and it involves me pulling my own weight a lot and jumping and lunging and lifting, but not weights, just my own weight, as I said. And the best part is that I come to know the trainers and guys and girls. They're all pretty young. It's amazing, actually. I forget that I'm older than them. We feel like we're just the same age group. That's a weird thing, right? For all my friends who are now in their 30s, maybe even in their 40s. Whenever you meet somebody in their 20s, you probably often don't notice the age difference, or you forget about it. And then when someone talks about the numbers, then you realize, I'm a lot older. So that's been my day. And I love going to the gym on a Saturday because, I don't know, Dutch people don't feel like going on a Saturday. I think the people, Dutch or otherwise, of Amsterdam, they like going to the gym after a work day. I don't know. I guess they're in the working mood or the let's work on something mood. So going to the gym is somehow an easy step mentally. Go to work, go to the gym. They show up in their suits with their fine shoes. My favorite is when these, especially men, they forget to bring not nice socks. They forget to bring gym socks or sport socks, and they wear like Argyle socks with their sneakers. Totally not important, but I get such pleasure from it. I love the clash of the office and the gym, and there it is showing on people's feet. So that's it. That's part of what I've done today. Very simple day. I was looking around, downloading. Oh, did I say downloading? Purchasing, of course, some Christmas movies, all the lame stuff that you know and love, including National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Why not? And the great Bill Murray's Scrooged. Love the Bill Murray, especially in Scrooged. So downloaded that because, I don't know, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season to be merry. That's my name. All right, I'm opening a box of something technical that I don't know if I need to explain to you, but it involves cutting some stuff and so forth. Yeah, so birthday, let's see. Again, for posterity, it's December, right? I'm 37, bicycle mark. I've just come back from India over a week ago. I guess you can stop saying just came back once it's been a week, but it was the type of journey where you gradually come back. Your body may be back here, and you may be busy doing things, but you're not totally back here. Matter of fact, I still dream on occasion that I'm in India, and it feels perfectly normal in the dream, going somewhere with people, friends. And in India, my summary, everybody always wants a summary, and you can hear why if you listen to the podcasts that are still coming out. It was just a great trip. I mean, it was everything that I hoped for, I would say, but also more. And part of that is not having too many expectations, just being open to whatever happens, happy enough to be in the country. I mean, let me put it this way. I was thrilled anytime we got on a train or a bus, even a rickshaw to a certain extent. So this was already, as they say, as the kids say, achievement unlocked. Everything else was just adding to the experience. So being able to meet friends, old friends, new friends. I guess I've said this in the podcasts. It made the trip. And I'll tell you something else I haven't probably said in the podcasts. India feels a lot closer to me now. In other words, I waited till I was 36 years old, or it took till I was 36 years old to get my ass to India. Part of it is money, although the kind of money is probably less than I spend going to the US, but okay, I have family in the US. I guess that increases the priority there. But still, India has always been mentally a faraway place, complicated. For a long time, I feared the visa. And indeed, people from some countries and in some years have said that the visa was very difficult to get. Well, there's now this e-visa as long as you don't stay for more than 30 days. And, that e-visa was all online. Sorry, I'm leaning over and I hit the mic. I'm using a clip-on mic, which I almost never do, but I like to try. So the e-visa was totally online, as the E would indicate. And you have to pay a little money. It's not completely unreasonable, depending on your tastes. I think it was like $40 or something. And then you get an email saying, when it's ready, hey, it's ready. I mean, how easy is that, I applied for a visa from the comfort of my living room. And one morning I woke up and I just checked my email on my phone, and there's a message from some kind of Indian government agency saying, hey, you're approved. I mean, that is easy. And I could totally see doing that again. It's one of those things. It's like, all right, if you've ever gone somewhere that you haven't been before, even if you have GPS with you, sometimes it feels like it takes very long and where are we, right? And then the next time you go there, it just feels a lot easier. Maybe even you get there faster. That's my comparison here with my India mental connection to India. So I really feel like if I had a week and a little bit of money, again, don't need that much money, then I would just hop on over. No big deal. Great opportunity, So that's something different than the way I thought of things before. And to that effect, I will look to get there within the next 2 years. I better get over there. I know my friends there will be disappointed if I don't, and I'll be a little disappointed. So here's to that idea: get over to India again soon. Of course, there are always other places I really would like to visit. So let's carry on with the state of things that I was starting to do. So at this point in my life, I still have not been to South America, and especially Brazil as a Portuguese person. So for all the newbies, I'm an American, but I'm also Portuguese, both by family and by nationality and by life, which took me back there, or I took my life back there at some point. And Portugal is a big part of my life, okay? And, Brazil is very, can I use the word doable without sounding too much like a fool? Brazil is accessible. I mean, okay, the money is probably one of the biggest barriers. The time it takes is significant. The distance, much more significant than going to India. But still, it is a goal of mine, and so still on my agenda, especially within the next few years. I don't want to waste time. You never know what's going to happen. Or how about this? The only certainty is uncertainty. So don't assume that there will be time. Don't assume that I can just put it off. No, do it now. That's a little something different, actually. I think a lot of us grew up, I'm speaking maybe now to some of my Americans, maybe some of my Europeans, but we grew up with this idea of retirement and later. After the kids are raised, we'll go. And some people do that. My parents get around and see a few things that they always said they wanted to see. On the other hand, a lot of people don't ever get to that stuff, right? Because they get into other situations and life doesn't allow for it. So, the old point here is go while you can. And I very much try to live that. But the combination with my career, let's call it a career, and my love of audio and podcasting doesn't necessarily combine well, because basically I don't make a lot of money. I make considerably less then I don't know. Let's say if I had pursued the kinds of careers that my schoolmates were pursuing, and depending on the classmate, but still, if you had gone for a fixed job, a steady gig at an office, you'd have less time, but I would have had, in theory, more money. And I'm just closing some curtains here. So that's also this part of the combination that, as much as I love to travel, one thing that sometimes has helped me travel is my career, but sometimes it hinders me from traveling, at least for the self-funded stuff. I have to wait for someone to sponsor me. I have to ask the audience, right? Which, let's be honest, doesn't work as well as it used to. And I understand that because I am also an audience member, and I don't support, well, look, I support a few projects, but there's a limit to how far I can go. So I get it, So that's not the viable, that's a whole commentary on crowdfunding, actually, is the limits of crowdfunding, I think, are right in front of us right now. We can really see it. When everything starts being crowdfunded, that's when crowdfunding stops working. Because the because part I don't fully understand, but there is a limit, not only in attention span, but in resources and money that people are willing to give. And we don't really know where the limit is, but we can start to see it when there are so many crowdfunded projects and not enough not enough funds, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna eat a gingerbread cookie. I apologize if you're hungry and you're listening to someone eat a gingerbread cookie. Hold on. By the way, started off today, we were listening to Christopher Lydon, Radio Open Source. Show about Dylan. So good. And you gotta listen. RadioOpenSource.org. It's called Bob Dylan, the Poet. He won the award, the prize. But you gotta listen to this show. It's just, the music alone, but also the people speaking on it. Here, I'm gonna play a little more while I eat a cookie.
Teaches at Bard College. Her new book is a novel titled Mr. Monkey. Charlie Pierce is a writer who's been blogging on politics for Esquire magazine. He's the sports commentator on NPR's Only a Game. And he's a Dylan man from way back who feels indebted for essential lessons about writing and being a rebel, as when Dylan was going from acoustic to electric in the mid-60s and taking heat for it, famously at a showdown with his audience in Manchester, England.
I don't believe you. You're a liar.
Anyway, all right, I finished my cookie, and I highly recommend listening to Radio Open Source. And if you really get into the whole Nobel Prize thing, I recommend you watch a video podcast called Stocktown. It's by a wonderful artist who you've heard on my podcast. His name is Martin G. And Martin is one of my best friends. Let's put that out there. Full disclosure. And he'll be here next week, so that's going to be fun. We're gonna definitely do some stuff, some podcasts, some media. But he did a video about the winning of the Nobel Prize and what happens when you do get the Nobel Prize for literature, in this case, where you have to go, what you have to do. And he's in Stockholm, so he can show you all that. And as he rightfully points out, this is not for the Peace Prize, people. Then you got to go to Oslo. Sad face. So I love, let me go back to Radio Open Source here. I mean, you guys know that I love Radio Open Source, and Chris, as a broadcaster or a podcaster, as a thinker, as a friend, enjoyed so much. And the frustrating thing for me is that I don't get, not everyone shares this. You always enjoy when you meet somebody and you can discuss your favorite show. I have this with Yeast Radio and Madge Weinstein. It's rare to come across someone who knows it and likes it. When it comes to Yeast Radio, because it is not for everyone, but it is so wonderful, and it just, I feel like I'm walking through the desert sometimes, hoping to find what would be water or someone who also shares this love. So Radio Open Source, it's not as specific, but it's much more universal, I guess. But still, I wish more people would listen, is my point. And that's my thing, I think, for 2017. I thought about it a lot in India. India, 1 point, fill in the blank, billion people, and not a lot of podcast listeners. If you were in the business world, you'd say, oh, such an untapped market. Or is it a market? Because do people really want to listen? Would they listen? But really, this gets my attention. At first, I was disappointed, thinking, well, there it is. These people, so many wonderful people, or people in general, they don't want to listen. So doesn't that tell you something? Why make audio? On the other hand, wouldn't it be great? Because there are people there who would enjoy, and maybe could enjoy. It's just a matter of figuring out why they don't know about it, and then what could be done to make it easier, accessible. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying that the goal here is to have lots of listeners in India, though I'd love to do it. The goal is, I get so much joy from not just making content, but above all, listening to content. I love it. I love it as much as you can like watching movies, which is another passion of mine. It's so special, but it frustrates me to no end because so many people just don't know it. And I think it would be nice. I think people would enjoy. I think it would open something up that maybe needs opening, that would help humans. I still believe in this thing. Maybe my own work isn't the key here, isn't the most inspiring work ever. I wish it was. I look up to Radio Open Source. I look up to Madge Weinstein, and I think these two programs know something. Martin G. and Stocktown, he knows something too. He's on to something, whether he knows it or not. But there's just so many people, and they don't know. So then the question is, well, how can we help them know? And the internet came along, and social media, and said, oh, don't worry, we'll share, and then we'll know. But now we see that it doesn't really work. It works 1 out of every 100 times. But, there's a ton of things that are shared with you every day. It's hard to tell exactly which one you should listen to or pay attention to. And even then, maybe you do see something that you know is going to be good, but you don't have time, or it falls by the wayside. And this grinds me. This gets me. This is the stuff that makes me both want to quit right now and hide, and it, in the same minute, it can make me want to do more, do better, whatever better means. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go because I want to make some food. I think there's gonna be a little birthday shindig somewhere, but I'll leave you with something that Madhavan, who you're gonna meet on an upcoming podcast, Madhavan from Uti, my friend Maddie, he said to me, talking about making podcasts or making art, he's a photographer, making photos. He said, are you enjoying what you do? In other words, making these programs. And I said, oh, I love it. I love making these things. But it also drives me crazy because I'm trying to figure out what would be more interesting, what would be more fun, what would be more engaging. I'm thinking about the audience, and there are so many potential people, and they're all different in what they want, what they're here for. And he said to me, so quickly and so easily, he said, you can't control that. What you can control, or what you can be involved in, is making the art, doing what you feel you want and need to do. What people do with it is not for you to control or even try to control. I love this philosophy. I don't know if I'm even passing it on accurately. It was not a recorded conversation, that one. I love this philosophy, but I confess then and I confess now, I do worry about that which I probably shouldn't, because it's just not controllable or manageable. It's out of my hands, and that should be okay. But I do think about, well, what would work better? Not in the quest of being popular or being famous, but in the quest of connecting with humans, which matters to me. Like, it matters to me to do what I like, to enjoy. I have some internal purposes, but there's an element here which is about you who are listening right now. And I want to meet you halfway or part of the way. I'm willing. I think it's worth it. But Madhavan brings up a great point. You know, you can drive yourself crazy trying to control that which, in the end, you probably can't control. I don't know what this philosophy is called. We talked a lot about Gandhi. Maybe that's something maybe I need to you know what? I need to go back to Gandhi. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't read Gandhi in ages. Okay. You've been listening for a while. I've been talking for a while. Any minute now, my girlfriend is going to walk into this house and go, "Oh, what is he doing?" Though she knows I do this sometimes. So I'll leave it at this, a birthday taking stock of things. I'm going to finish unwrapping this audio system thingy that I got here. Thanks so much for listening, guys. And, Realities Podcast, Citizen Reporter, I'm going to make sure to cross-pollinate to, and maybe you're right, whoever thinks, why have two shows? I just love the idea of just doing something somewhere else, breaking away in some ways. I don't know. Don't know. All right, I'm out of here. I'll leave you with a song. I'll leave you with a song. Bye.
My intestines are warm, holding your arm. You slipped it under there with your paw. My intestines are warm.